This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about Kellen Moore to the Saints, possibly. We're going to go ahead and talk about that. Also, Christian Watkins is officially out. And lastly, we got to talk about Cooper DeJean. Welcome to the NFL moment, but let's get straight into it. All right, man. Before we hop straight into it, I want to talk about a couple things now that the regular season is officially over. I want to talk about Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson, legendary regular season. I didn't want to skip over this because sometimes we look at Lane Johnson, he's a legend, and when he put up numbers, we're like, oh, that's Lane Johnson. But let's appreciate it because let's look at these numbers. It's just ungodly numbers. Well, according to ML Football, Lane Johnson had 451 pass blocking snaps, 10 pressures allowed, least in the NFL. Will only allow one QB hit. That's the least. Zero sacks allowed. Was one of two players not to allow a sack this season. So Lane Johnson is a very, very special player, and he's been doing this at a high level for forever, I will say. But I just didn't want it to go unnoticed because we're talking about a guy that's on the brink of retirement, y'all. A brink of retirement and having the season that he had. And I think he only missed a game or like a half of a game or something like that. Maybe a game. I don't think he was in there for the Buccaneers game. And again, man, Lane Johnson had a phenomenal regular season. Phenomenal, man. He's going to be a hard guy to replace. And I got to talk about this Jalen Hurts protocol. Actually, I don't have to talk about it. Let's listen to Mike Garafalo talk about it.
And the Packers.
One more
Which
time.
I did call it Super
time.
Wild Card Weekend. I didn't get the memo yesterday. I tweeted Super Wild Card Weekend, and then everybody else, including the official NFL folks, were all tweeting just Wild Card. Nobody sent me the memo.
Yeah,
get a lot of
just
memos.
wild
Didn't
card.
get that one. Eagles,
get a lot of
Packers.
memos.
Nick Sirianni saying today Jalen Hurts is still in the protocol. It's a little bit of gamesmanship, okay? From my understanding, he was almost attending the last couple of games, but the Eagles have a policy that players who are going through concussions just stay home. So he has been feeling okay. I think it's just a matter of Sirianni saying, well, yeah. First of all, he doesn't talk injuries. He went on this whole rant, I think it was like a year or two ago, where he basically explained, here's what you're gonna ask me, and he went throughout the week, and he's like, I'm not gonna answer your questions about injuries the entire week, and he had it all planned out about how, I haven't talked to the trainers yet. Is he gonna practice today? I don't know. We'll see. We haven't planned. And he's like, told you how he was going to avoid it the whole week. He's probably going to do it again with Jalen Hurts. I don't have any great concern. I think Jalen Hurts is going to play in this game. He may not get cleared officially out of the protocol till the end of the week. There's really no rush. You don't have to take a guy out of the protocol till it's time to play a game. So I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to play this coming weekend.
Nothing to worry about. I keep getting sent this, talked about this, reading comments about this. He just haven't practiced. He haven't practiced at all. So if he's not practicing, you can't leave protocol without some type of contact practice. That's what's going on. A lot of people say he could have played against the Giants. So Wednesday will be the indicator. I got a feeling we're gonna talk about this again up until Wednesday, but I think Jalen Hurts practice and he's gonna be perfectly fine. A well rested Jalen Hurts to me is a dangerous Jalen Hurts. So he will be out of protocol very, very soon. And also, before I get into the topics, got to talk about Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown was the highest graded player on the Philadelphia Eagles. And look, man, he looked good. He looked good when you go back and watch it, besides the missed tackles, of course. And coverage, he was great. You know, he almost injured Isaiah Rodgers on one play. Then to end the game with a pick. Sidney Brown was fine when you really, really go rewatch the game. I thought it wasn't his best showing, but when you look at it, coverage, yes, he was there. But we got to start wrapping up and tackling, man. Y'all know I love Sidney Brown, but the truth is the truth. Just can't dive at people, go for the big hit, because when they break the big hit, it could, cause things to happen. But once he get the wrapping up, I think work with Vic Fangio a full year of Vic Fangio, including like the training camps and stuff like that. I think Sidney Brown be perfectly fine. But coverage, he was fine. He was definitely fine when you like go back and look at just watch Sidney Brown. He was fine. I like how Tristan McCullum played too. Tristan McCullum to me was more technically sound. But obviously, when you watch the game, and even PFF saying it, Sidney Brown's the guy with the future. So he's going to be a fun guy to watch, especially if we don't resign Reed Blankenship. So we'll see what Sidney Brown, how he develops over time. And last thing before I get into the topics, it look like Eagles are going to go black out. Yes, the Eagles train stay profile pit is still black, and they got this white, I don't know, eagle or something like that. So we'll see. We'll see. It got this white black design eagle, and hopefully they do black out. You know, the starters didn't do the blackout against the Giants because obviously we wrapped up everything. So it look like the playoffs is either we gonna go white and black like how we did the first time we played the what's they name Green Bay Packers, or we're gonna do the black all black. Hopefully we do the all black, but we will see. We will definitely see. But let's get to these topics. Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore to the Saints is thing to discuss. You know, we knew these things was going to happen. And this is one of my biggest knocks on Nick Sirianni. Like when you watch the Chiefs, it's like every year, right? Every year, offensive coordinator get taken from the Chiefs. Their defensive coordinator is basically going to stay there to retire. Same with ours. But the biggest difference between us is that our head coach don't call plays. So we know no matter who's in Kansas City, it's Andy Reid, if it's Matt Nagy, if it's who was the guy that was in Washington like last year? I forgot his name. It been a couple guys that been in Kansas City, but we know Andy Reid is the guy. Whereas though with us, we really need a good play caller because that's just not Nick Sirianni thing. He's a motivator. So hopefully, you know, he denied these interviews. Hopefully we win it all. And he want to do it again. Maybe he want to two-peat in Kellen Moore, but Kellen Moore is really young. You only get a couple chances to be a head coach. I think the Eagles got to make that like a stipend. I know you can't technically say that, like, hey, you got to at least stay for 2 years if we hire you. But they should throw that under like, yo, man, if you're gonna be here, we need somebody long term, long term. So we knew this was going to happen. Like the Saints is going to request an interview, maybe even the Cowboys, the Bears. He's going to be a hot commodity. I think Kellen Moore and Ben Johnson up in Detroit, they're going to be hot commodities because they got top five offense. We got the top five offense. It's going to happen. So hopefully Kellen Moore go nowhere. You know, I want to see Jalen Hurts with the same coordinator for at least 2-3 years. Maybe we luck up and the Colts actually fire Shane Steichen. I'm hearing they're not going to do that, but if they do, we could bring him back as an OC and let Kellen Moore go somewhere else. And you know, him and Jalen Hurts got a relationship. Shane Steichen got a relationship with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, you know, it's up for Kellen Moore to go. It's pretty understandable. It's only a few times or a few chances you can get to be a head coach, but I don't want him to go anywhere, to be honest. I really don't. And let's get into the next topic. Christian Watkins. Christian Watkins is officially out, according to the Green Bay Packers news. And according to Ian Rappaport, he is out with a torn ACL. Had a feeling, you know, non-contact, just going down like that. You hope it's just like some regular sprain, but 90% of the time, I would say, it's usually tearing some type of MCL or ACL. You could just tell the way he felt and just grabbed that knee. I'm like, oh, this ain't good. Overall, it's just not good for the Green Bay Packers in general because he is the deep threat. I know they got Jaden Reed there, but I don't think Jaden Reed will be enough to beat the Eagles and to stretch the field. Whereas though you have a Jaden Reed and Christian Watkins, and they had both the first time. And they were moving the ball, but this is a totally different defense. This is the number one ranked defense, whereas though they was playing one of the worst defense week one, but now this is the best defense. And without your weapon, then you got a gimpy quarterback in Jordan Love with a lack of weapons. So they feel like if we can slow down Josh Jacobs, it should be a win. Don't let Josh Jacobs run all over us. And if we don't let that happen, we should be perfectly fine. And let's get into the last topic. And shout out to Anthony DeBona. He spoke with Cooper DeJean, and Cooper DeJean had to say this about his welcome to the NFL moment.
First regular season in the NFL wrapped up. In college, you only played 163 snaps in your career in the slot. And now in your first year in the NFL, you've played over 500 snaps in the slot.
Yeah.
How would you say you did in your first regular season, and how much have Vic Fangio and Christian Parker helped in that transition?
Oh, they've helped a lot. They've helped a lot. The coaches and Abante, us playing the same position, they've helped a lot. I wouldn't be able to play, play good if it wasn't for those guys. And I still got a lot of work to do. I feel like I've learned a lot, since I started, since my first preseason game. I feel like I've gotten better at a lot of things. But I just need to continue to grow. It's kind of a new position for me. I didn't play it. I played it in college, obviously a little bit, but just coming in and learning from those guys, they've helped a lot. With just understanding the position, and how to use different techniques, in certain coverages.
And would you say at any point in the regular season did you have what felt like a welcome to the NFL moment?
Yeah, when I faced Adam Thielen a couple weeks ago, he gave me some good work. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. Everybody's seen it. Like Adam Thielen definitely got the best of Cooper DeJean. I thought that was one of Cooper DeJean's worst games. We knew these things could possibly happen. Like with a Quinyon Mitchell, with a Cooper DeJean, they young. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna have your day where it's though like, he got the best of me. So again, shout out to Anthony DeBona, a guy I've been following for a long time. Now to see him in the locker rooms, it's pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. And that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? Cooper DeJean, welcome to the NFL moment. Also, Christian Watkins being out. And Lane Johnson, Hurts, all that good stuff. And this is Eagle Al, man.